The secret to a peaceful home, Japanese cleaning that changes everything. I'm Marcus, and I want to tell you about something that completely transformed how I manage my home. For years, I kept thinking the problem was me. I thought being messy was just part of who I am. No matter what I tried, my house always looked chaotic. Closets overflowing, tables piled high, and that feeling that it was never truly clean. Then I turned 50. And I figured this was just normal aging. Your house gets messier, your life gets busier, and you make peace with it. But then something unexpected happened. I spent a week in Japan visiting a friend. The place where I stayed was tiny, just 600 square feet. And yet, walking through that small home, I felt something I hadn't felt in my own space in years. Peace. No clutter anywhere, no strange chemical smells, just calm. It sounds like a small thing, but it wasn't. I couldn't understand how someone could keep a home so organized with so little space. So I asked her directly. She smiled and said words I'll never forget. We don't work harder to clean, we work smarter. That 1 week changed everything for me. If you're watching right now and you feel the same way, if your home feels like it's fighting against you, this video is for you. Before I dive into the Japanese secrets that made my life easier and calmer, I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit the subscribe button. This is Seniors Cleaning Hacks, and we share practical habits that actually work. So subscribe now, and let's jump in.
Why our cleaning methods aren't working. Let me be honest about something. Most of us were never taught how to actually clean. We were taught to react. Something spills, you wipe it up. Dust appears, you quickly sweep it away. But we never learned systems. We never figured out how to stop problems before they start. We're always chasing the mess instead of designing it out of our lives. Think about your kitchen right now. I bet you have multiple cleaning products sitting on your counter. Different sprays for different surfaces. Sponges scattered around. Paper towels everywhere. And here's what I discovered. Most of what we call clean in Western homes is just moving the mess from one place to another. We use air fresheners to cover smells instead of finding out why the smell is there. We vacuum every week instead of preventing dust from showing up in the first place. We wipe down counters that were never designed to stay clean anyway. Our houses keep getting bigger, but somehow they feel smaller and more stressful. More belongings, more storage solutions, more cleaning supplies, but less space, less peace, less control. I remember standing in my kitchen one afternoon, frustrated. I had spent 2 full hours cleaning that morning, but when I looked around, my kitchen still felt chaotic. Not really dirty, but mentally exhausting, like the room was screaming at me and I couldn't quiet it down. Before I explain the solution, drop a like if you've ever felt this way. Seriously, let me know in the comments how many cleaning products you have right now. I want to hear from you. And if you know someone who needs this message, share this video with them. Thank you.
The Japanese philosophy that changes everything, Kaizen. In Japan, they see cleaning completely differently. It's not a chore to avoid. It's part of how life is structured. Every drawer, every floor, every shelf is part of a larger system. And that system is built around one powerful idea called Kaizen. I first heard this word in a train station in Kyoto. A janitor, probably in his 60s, was on his knees wiping the very bottom of a vending machine. Not the visible parts, but the base where barely anyone would see. I was curious, so I asked someone nearby why he was cleaning something so small and hidden. The answer was simple. He's not cleaning for now. He's cleaning so it stays clean later. Kaizen means continuous improvement. It started in Japanese factories, but it's everywhere in Japanese homes now. Here's the amazing part. You don't wait for things to get really dirty. Instead, you clean a tiny bit every single day without even thinking about it. You wipe the sink after you brush your teeth. You fold your blanket as you get out of bed. You rinse your plate right after eating. Each action takes less than 10 seconds, but those small moments add up. A recent study from Tokyo University found something fascinating. People who practice this micro-cleaning method spend 40% less time cleaning each week overall. But here's the ticker. Their homes are actually cleaner than people who do one big cleaning session once a week. It works because it changes how your brain functions. Every small task you complete gives your brain a little boost of dopamine. That's your brain saying, "Hey, look at this order. This feels good. Let's do more." Soon, your home stops being something you battle against. It becomes something that works with you naturally and without stress.
The tools that do the real work. The biggest surprise during my week in Japan wasn't fancy technology. It was how simple everything was. The real genius was in tools that were so smartly designed, they didn't need to be complicated. Let me share 3 tools that changed my cleaning routine. First, the drain mesh filter. This tiny thing costs almost nothing, maybe 2 cents. It's a small nylon net that sits in your sink. It catches 99% of food scraps before they even have a chance to block your pipes. I bought a pack for $3. Since then, my sink hasn't smelled once, not even after cooking fish. That's it. A 2-cent tool solved the problem I'd been frustrated about for years. Second, the tanugui cloth. This is a thin, woven cotton cloth that looks like simple decoration when you first see it, but it's different from regular kitchen towels. It's tightly woven, it doesn't leave lint anywhere, and it dries in just a few minutes. I replaced all my paper towels with these cloths. I'm not throwing away a tree's worth of paper every single month anymore. Here's the really cool part. After about 50 washes, the fabric actually becomes more absorbent, not less. Some newer versions are even stitched with real silver thread. Yes, silver. The silver kills bacteria right when it touches the cloth. All of that in something I originally thought was just a basic hand towel. Third, the bathroom tray system. In Japan, nothing sits directly on the bathroom counter. Everything, your toothbrush, your razor, your soap, sits on a raised tray that you can clean easily. Some families color-code the trays by person. This prevents mold and slime from growing underneath bottles and containers. And on those busy mornings when you're rushing, you know exactly where your razor is. No searching, no mess, just a calm morning. Here's what I realized. In Japan, tools aren't just helpers, they're part of a bigger system. Each tool solves a problem before it even becomes a real problem. Compare that to how we shop in Western stores. We buy storage containers to organize clutter we shouldn't have purchased in the first place. We buy new sprays to clean up messes we could have prevented. We call that progress, but it's really just buying more stuff. In Japan, it's not about buying more items. It's about choosing better items, better design, better logic, better peace of mind. The ritual that brings peace. Osoji. In Western culture, we have something called spring cleaning. We hate it. It's on our to-do list, it's something we dread, and we avoid it until we absolutely can't anymore. But in Japan, they have a different approach. They call it Osoji, the great cleaning. And it's not really about dust at all. It's about starting fresh. Every single December, families in Japan approach cleaning as a ritual of renewal. They open every window, even when it's freezing outside. They clean from the ceiling vents all the way down to the floor seams. They lift tatami mats, empty out drawers completely, scrub doors from top to bottom. Even school children participate, wiping down their desks and windows before winter break begins. It's a community event, a cultural practice. But there's also real science behind why this works so well. A study from Kyoto University in 2023 found something interesting. Homes that practice Osoji reduce indoor air pollutants by 40%. That's a huge number. But even more important than that, The families who did Osoji reported higher life satisfaction and lower stress levels after finishing. They felt better emotionally and mentally. Why? Because when you clean with real intention, you're not just tidying up your physical space, you're also clearing away emotional weight. You're letting go of the year that passed. I remember doing my first Osoji. I started with the windows. As I wiped each one clean, it felt like I was wiping away the entire year, all the good parts, all the heavy parts, all the uncertain parts. And when I finished, something shifted. I breathed differently. My chest felt lighter. In Japan, there's a beautiful word, kokoro. It means heart, mind, and spirit, all wrapped into one concept. That's what cleaning touches in Japanese culture. Not just the floor or the walls, but your kokoro, your whole being. The ritual doesn't have to happen just once a year. Some families light incense while cleaning. Others play soft music in the background. Some people start by bowing to the room they're about to clean, not because of superstition, but because of respect. When you respect your space begins to respect you back.
The trash system that changes how you think. This is going to sound extreme, and I understand, but stay with me. In certain Japanese towns, households sort their trash into 45 separate categories. 45! I know that sounds unbelievable. Plastic bottles go in one bin. The caps from those bottles go in a completely different bin. Foil, paper with plastic coating, aluminum trays, food waste, batteries, even tiny metal tabs. Each one has its own place. Sounds crazy, right? Let me tell you what actually happens because of this. Japan now recycles over 84% of its household waste. That's the highest rate in the entire developed world. Landfill waste has dropped by over 80%. But here's something even more powerful than those statistics. The psychology changes. Sorting trash isn't really about saving the environment, although that matters. It's about accountability. When you have to think about where each item goes, you start thinking about why you bought it in the first place. You notice the packaging. You see the excess. You realize that impulse purchase became trash in just 24 hours, and you start to change your behavior. I remember standing in a Japanese home watching a family of 4 quietly sort their trash after dinner. No complaining, no frustration, just presence. And something clicked for me. Trash wasn't disgusting anymore, it was data. A mirror showing me exactly how I live. And once you've seen it that way, you can't unsee it. Back at my own home, I keep 4 simple bins now. Nothing extreme, but enough to remind me that every single thing I throw away is a choice. Every bin is a moment to pause. Every toss is a moment to be present. If this is making you think differently about your home, that's exactly what we want. Drop a comment below and tell me what's one thing you're going to change about how you organize your space. Subscribe to Seniors Cleaning Hacks if you haven't already, because we're sharing more tips like this every single week.
Storage that disappears. The art of Japanese space. In America, space is treated like a luxury. In Japan, it's treated like an art form. The average Japanese apartment is just under 700 square feet for a family of 4. There are no walk-in closets, there's no garage, and yet nothing feels cramped or claustrophobic. Why? Because every single inch of a Japanese home has a job, and often that job is to basically disappear. Let me introduce you to sliding storage systems. No swinging doors that get in your way, no bulky cabinets taking up half your room. Just smooth, quiet panels that glide open and closed like silk. This concept actually started centuries ago with shoji screens, paper and wood doors that save space and could transform a room. Today, the idea has evolved into something called origami-inspired modular design. Closets fold into walls, drawers nest underneath stairs, Beds lift up to show storage compartments underneath. Some homes even have hidden compartments built right into the floorboards, like secret treasure chests for storing extra linens or winter clothes. It sounds fancy, but it's really about one thing: flow. A 2024 study by Panasonic found that sliding storage systems reduce the amount of blocked floor space by 25%, and they increase usable closet space by nearly 40%. But the real impact? The way you move through your home changes completely. You walk from room to room without bumping into anything. Doors don't creak, drawers don't slam. You're not dodging piles of stuff. You're gliding through calm. And when everything has a specific place, it's so much easier to put things back in their place. That alone cuts down your cleanup time dramatically. Western homes tend to expand outward. More rooms, more square footage, more storage. Japanese homes fold inward, not because they have to, but because it makes life quieter, smoother, and more intentional. I came home and looked at my hallway closet. The doors were hanging open, shoes spilling out onto the floor, complete chaos. And I thought, what if this wasn't just storage? What if this was actually design? Now, with a few sliding bins and low-profile panels, my clutter doesn't just stay hidden, it stays organized.
How to actually start making small changes. It's easy to watch a video like this and feel inspired and motivated. But then you close your laptop, look around at your actual home, and feel completely overwhelmed again. 15 habits, 45 bins, special enzyme powders, sliding compartments. It sounds like a lot. Maybe you're thinking, where on earth do I even begin? Here's the truth, and I really mean this. You don't need to become Japanese. You don't need to completely revamp your entire house. You just need one habit, one quiet shift in how you move through your space. Maybe it's wiping your bathroom sink every morning. Maybe it's folding that towel with actual intention. Maybe it's putting a small tray under your toothbrush holder. These are tiny things. They seem insignificant until suddenly they aren't. Because as the Japanese understand, peace doesn't arrive all at once. It accumulates gradually. It builds through repetition. It grows through rhythm. It strengthens through respect. Before you know it, your home becomes lighter. Your morning becomes slower. Your mind becomes quieter. Not because you worked harder at cleaning, but because you started living in a different way. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one habit from everything I've shared in this video. Just one. Try it for a full week. See what happens. If it makes your life even a little bit easier or a little bit calmer, come back here and leave a comment. Tell us what changed for you. Tell us what you're going to try next. And please, if you found value in this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this with someone you care about who might need to hear this message, because sometimes the difference between chaos and calm is literally just one gentle habit away. The peace you're looking for isn't something you need to travel to find. It's not something you need to buy. It's right here, waiting for you, in your drawer, in your morning routine, in the floor beneath your feet. One habit, one quiet moment. That's where it starts.